So what I would like to do today is just share some experience that I have learned in my career. I have been working as a user experience professional in tech companies for the last 8 to 9 years. So actually, I am not an engineer. I don't code, and say when she codes, I feel a little bit shy because I really don't code. Julie said that I have something that people may be interesting to hear from me. So that's why I'm here today. So one thing I really have to say is working in tech industry is great because you get to work on something that millions of people will benefit from that product. So I've been working on different products, different companies. My first job is in Bang&Olufsen in Denmark. That was in 2004, and I designed a photo player at that time. So it didn't really get to release to the market, but later on you see all the digital frame from Philip, so similar concept. And my second job is in Microsoft, working on CRM software. CRM is for client relationship management. Basically, I went to visit all the warehouses, salesperson, clients, how they manage their stuff, and how to design a software that works for all kinds of roles in that ecosystem. And my third job is in working on Google for many products and specialized for Chinese users. That was a really fun time, and I have some ex-Google coworkers here as well, so it's great to meet them again. That was a really fun journey. And currently, I'm working in Mozilla, Firefox. So that's our office. We have 2 products right now: Firefox browser and Firefox OS as operating system. I have a hard time to really figure out what picture I should put there for the map location, because I'm not sure if you guys all know that Mozilla is really an open source community, which means that we have contributors from all over the world. 40% of the code from Firefox is actually written by contributors, not employees. So we have a mascot from all over the place, and contributors make all by themselves. So just want to share with you. Yes, so the one from Indonesia, this one is from Japan, so origami, you can see that. So it's a really, really fun place to work at. So today I want to share some of tips that actually I've learned in my career, and it actually worked for me as well as a leader for my team and inside my organization. So let me know if those tips are actually relevant to you, or you think that there's more questions. Those are really useful for me. So if you think that's something that you want to discuss more, we definitely welcome for discussions. So number 1, fear. Let's talk about fear and failure. It's interesting why I put it first, because several people actually mentioned to me in different ways that Jinghua, you're fearless. I was like, really? Maybe because I'm naive or I'm ignorant. I don't know what do you mean by fearless. There's like, you're there to try this. You have no problem try this one out. You have no problem to change this plan, or hire people that other people said that you shouldn't hire. I was like, so what? What's gonna happen? It's like, you're gonna fail. What if it doesn't work? I actually think fear of failure is exaggerated, because a lot of times failure can be absorbed by an organization. It's not only just you, right? Sometimes we release a product. You're not the only person working on that product, right? There are people that are around you and will help you to guide through the right track. And if you hire a wrong person, they're not going to fire you because you hire someone that they don't know if that person is going to work out. Well, I mean, there are some cases that I've been through in one of the previous jobs that they actually cancel the project and they let go the entire department. But that's 200 people. You cannot really do much, right? You cannot really say, okay, that project failed and I'm the only person get fired. So I think it's exaggerated. But instead, what we are really afraid of, you have seen quotes like this all the time. Let me know if you feel like your heart gets hurt when you see some of those. One of the sentences that we always see, oh, this is the most stupid design I've ever seen. You're like, oh, damn it, what happened? Right? So, and then the other one, this one is, I just copied it from one of the forum. So, Ray, I love you, but I just have to show this. Australia's ruined Firefox. Australia's a new design theme that we'll plan to roll out next year. So he just said it kills Firefox. And then he put it a signature as a forum. So basically, whenever you open the forum, you will see that. And as a designer who worked on that project, they were like, did I do anything wrong? Shall we just call off the project? Shall we just cancel it? You know, you do feel hurt. You do feel like, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? So what I really think that we're afraid of blame, not necessarily the failure, right? So blame is something that's really hard because it hurts your passion. It hurts you feel powerless when you feel like you're trying to do something, but instead you really feel you lost. You don't know if that's right, or people like push back. That's kind of thing that's really powerful. And besides, blame is something that you don't necessarily, you know, like need to get it so obviously. Like one situation is like one day I passed a hallway and heard a conversation, and you know, pretty high level manager was talking to one of the person. I cannot believe you released this without any research. And the first reaction was like, oh damn, if I'm that person, I'm gonna go back to do tons of research, right? Because I don't want to get blamed. But the situation is that you can do more research, you can do all over the research, and you still can kill the product at the end, right? It has nothing to do with whether the product, the idea is good or not. It has something to do with like, oh, now I don't get blame, right? I don't get the criticism. So things like this is pretty, you know, like pretty dangerous, like when we work in a situation. So, you know, how to get over it, how to avoid that. So there's some lessons we learned from design. So I don't know how many people here are designers or related to UX team. Yeah, great, that's pretty good. Yeah. So definitely there's something like very interesting for us to learn. Like number one, design is iterative, right? Like we never say you design a perfect product forever, right? Like you don't do it overnight, and then you don't do the perfect product for the rest of the many years, right? Even Apple is constantly having new products, right? And then you know that's why we update our apps, we update our websites all the time, right? There's always space for improvement, and that change is not going to change, right? So, and then that's, you know, like whenever things happen, you don't feel that, oh, you didn't, you know, figure out all details. And the second one is really set up the right expectations. So expectation, you know, in the design world, design is a communication, right? So you design something for people and you want to convey this message. Whether your product is, you know, really ready for people to use, or you think this is just experiment or something very interesting to try, or, you know, or if you think this design problem has, you know, hard discoverability problems, you can always give a tip on the top. So it's basically really about communication. So we could actually say clearly, this is a trial, or this is an experiment, and please let us know if you have any feedback or how we want to change it. So there's always an expectation that you can set before or after the job, or hopefully before the job. The next one is really invite and give constructive feedback. So we all know this, but it's really hard when you are being pushed to the edge that, you know, you did this wrong, right? The question is like, can we actually break through that, you know, emotional layer and really get to something constructive, right? For example, if people say, hey, I cannot believe you just released this product without any more research, the next step, my recommendation is really, you know, so what exactly you think that we should do more research? Which point that you think that you're less sure about? And so then we do not stuck at, you know, the emotional like fear of being blamed that layer, and we actually move one layer forward trying to solve the problem. And there's a couple of other things that will help you, which I will explain a little bit more, which is number one is really not about you, and then the next one is focus on jobs to be done. So I will move to my next lesson, or my next tip, which is it's really not about you. So far all good, or questions about the first one? Fear? We can talk more about fear. I don't want to go for too deep about that, but let's move to this one. So it's really not about you, or it's really not about me. We all talk about personal impact, right? Like we always talk about, you know, who I am. I want to be popular. I want to be well known in Silicon Valley. There are many superstars. I want to be one of the superstars. You don't get to be a superstar by only looking at yourself, right? So just want to give a quick update. It's the same thing when you do product. You don't get to make a product if the product only perfect for you, right? Because you do want to make sure your product is being used by millions of people all over the world, right? So we definitely have a user research team that want to do field research in different countries. This is our map. And you meet with people all over the world from all kinds of background, all kinds of culture, all kinds of different social class or income class, and they're very interesting. I just want to give you some quick explanations. This is a lady that we just interviewed last week from Colombia, and because we're working on the Firefox OS operating system project, so we want to understand how they use their mobile phones, and for a particular user group that we focus at, and many of them, just like this lady, they have 2 phones all the time. And their 2 phones, they're, put together, the 2 phones are not necessarily cheap, but they all put together, for that money, they can actually buy a really, high and expensive iPhone or a very good Android phone. They choose just to have 2 very simple phones. 2 reasons. Number one, the security situation is not that great. They really worry about losing a phone. Their phone gets stolen, get robbed all the time. And the number 2 is that they do want to number 2 is they do want to separate different payments from different telco companies. So even actually one of the phone have 2 SIM cards as well. So because all the phone companies carriers offer very different payment system, so because her friends are in all over different systems, she really want to know which one's cheaper so that she can actually get the best deal. So for situations like that, we don't necessarily have that exactly same problem, right? And you can see the phone is really very simple. There's any phone case. However, this one we also take picture from Taiwan. You can see all over the phone case is really bling bling. And then there's another picture that I didn't show it here. The phone case is 2 times larger than the phone itself. Has a crocodile on it. It's like really cool. Actually, I talked with Sir Julie, but I didn't bring it. I have one at home that the phone case, on the back of the phone case, is a really nice Japanese girl figure. And then that's really this thick. And when you open it, it's a mirror. It's a really, really nice thing that you really don't see it in Silicon Valley. And it doesn't work in Colombia as well. Because you increase the chances that people see your phone and that they know that's really fancy phone. You increase the chance being not that secure. So another situation is like, this is the picture I took from Beijing a couple of years ago. So this is not science lab, it's internet cafe. So internet cafe in Beijing is actually more like the entertainment area for people to go after work. You can play games, you can order food, you have really nice sofa, very fancy headset, and the teenagers go there to date. And I have seen the really nice setup that is all pinky color, and the one sofa is for the boy to play the computer game, and then the other one is for the girl to watch all soap operas. And then they're close to each other. It's like you go into the cinema, and it's just even better, right? Like you get food, and you can watch whatever. You can spend hours, and it's like $1 that price. So it's very interesting. Like if you design a product for them, what will you do? So again, this is really not about you. So when you design product for users, you really need to think about, well, that little pinky one is supposed to be me, or anybody who are doing similar jobs. You're really facing all the people, right? Like who they are, what their needs, what their unarticulated needs, what they really want, what's their struggle, what's their context, who will they connect with. All those things we need to understand. And it's very similar for you to design within an organization. The only difference is that you are part of them. You're no longer just observer. You are part of the people who everybody work together. So it go back to like as a leader or as a person who has an impact in the company. What do you need to consider? If you only consider yourself, the best thing you can do is polish your own skills, right? You can provide the best design spec, right? You can think about it, read all the materials, magazines, and come up with the best design ideas or all the arguments by yourself. But if you think a little bit bigger, you will understand, okay, what is the entire team needs? Like, what is the team that, they want to achieve? What's their goal? What the part they're not good at it? What can I contribute for that, right? And if you think even bigger, what does entire company want, right? If they want to do, Firefox OS, what is part of knowledge that they're still missing? Are they still missing about culture background? They're missing about accessibility background? What kind of thing they're missing? That is there any way for me to provide help or contribution? So again, go back to the point that Julia made. It doesn't mean that you don't need to do your own job, that you only do other people's job, right? I'm not saying that. Contribution means that your own role plus your impact, right? So how we want to understand it. And there's a lot of interesting things that you can learn, like for example, the process, right? How, like one of the very interesting example I've been talking with our team members that we have a junior designer, and she's doing her own craft as design very well. And one day she just approached me saying, Jinghua, I actually see when I finish my design spec, I give it to engineers and we did this, and we figured out there's no way to actually test it in this and this situation. I actually have a proposal so that we can change this and this. Shall I do it? I was like, that's a very interesting question. Basically, what she did is that she created opportunity for herself to actually step out of her own box, right? So, a lot of leaders, managers will be interested to see if you can actually give a try, as long as of course, you still, finish the job that you're supposed to do. So this is really about, if we can not only just put a heads down to do your own work, but also think about the environment, think about the needs from other teams. That's very similar to, the human-centered approach that we're talking about. So I'm sure that, if we're in Silicon Valley, the human-centered approach is not a strange phrase for you, right? Like you definitely heard a lot about it. It's not only for the product development, it's also for how you want to work inside organization, right? So a couple of categories. If you search definition for human-centered approach, there's many definitions. I picked one very simple, which is really understand what's the core problem, what's the core group that you definitely need to make sure that they will work fine, and what's the secondary group that they will work with or without your help, and what is the group of people that you may be able to purposely forget for now, and then you can come back later. So many interesting things that we can learn just from that design process. The third point is focusing on big yes. What I really wanted to say is, right now, little no's are so pervasive. You can find them all the time, right? Like we don't have to pay any marketing consulting company to actually do a survey for you to understand user feedback. You got it all the time. You get a Twitter account and people will send you some messages through Twitter or Facebook, leave your message there, and we invite them for, like the email affiliate so that they can actually send some email, send some messages through email. And this is one of the screenshots I got from one of our input page. You can see all the sad faces. People are unhappy with your products all the time, right? Like, with or without reason. Some languages I don't even read. And there are some people that are really sad and then their message is okay. Like, you can get those little notes all over the place. And we also, recently, as our CEO get a tweet from someone else saying, you need to change the space, the length of the upload box on your email client somewhere. It's like those little notes all over the place. I'm not saying they're not useful. They're definitely interesting for you to understand, okay, what is the areas of details that we ignored, we haven't really figured out, and how can we actually improve it. My point is that there is a big yes that we always need to focus. Otherwise, our energy will be distracted all the time. So this is called, or this is a way that we work inside Mozilla. We always focus on jobs to be done. So jobs to be done is not one product. Jobs to be done is the purpose of what people really want to achieve through your product, through your service. I want to give some examples for this. So if you design a lawnmower, I have a hard time to pronounce that lawnmower, that word. My husband will always say that Jinghua, that's not right. I don't know why I didn't pronounce it right, so I just say the grass machine. So if you develop a grass machine, so you can make it a very, very simple one. You can add more bigger garbage bags. You can add a seat on top of it. You can make that seat more like a ergonomic seat. You can make it that has really beautiful shapes, all the paints, everything. You can make it as much as you want. You can make it as a spaceship if you really want. That's all because you think the jobs to be done, the big yes is to cut the grass, right? That's why you have a lawnmower, right? So, however, if you really reframe it, really rethink about it, what user really want to do there is to actually keep the grass low and beautiful at all time. That's their fundamental goal. That's the real purpose. It's not necessarily cut the grass, right? So it really depend on how you frame it, you will have a very different result. So for example, if we focus on how to keep the grass low and beautiful at all time, there will be different ideas coming out from the grass machine, right? So there could be, the fake grass, but it still look really, really nice and soft enough. It could be the grass that doesn't grow that fast at all. So this is the one that only require you manage the grass 3 to 4 times a year, compared to the ones that right now you have to do it every week. So there's many different solutions that really depend on how you set up your goal, how you frame the purpose. So I really like this quote, even though people probably understand it, but I think a lot of companies, very conventional way, people still think about it, okay, offering value to users means that adding more and more features, right? The more feature that I add, the more things that people can do. They can have this, choose their paint, they can choose this and this. They're not necessarily the core values that user care. So we always can make sure that, keep focus on the big yes instead of get distracted by all the little things. So talking about that, how that bring up to you as a person working in a company if you want to have impact. What is the jobs to be done for your team? What is job done for the teams that are related to you? What is jobs to be done for the bigger company? So we have done a lot of, spend some time, we organize our own summit work. Mozilla has this tradition. My team also have this tradition, like we do the summit every quarter, every 2 times a year, and we put people together. We really go talk about it, how we work, what is our focus, what is our skill sets, what is the process is work or disconnected, what is the jobs to be done for all of us to actually move forward. This is a lot of things that we can really think about, and everybody is a part of the planning team, right? How we can organize it. So, myself, I don't think I am capable of come up with the best plan ever for everybody, for everything. It relies on everybody who work with you and who work, around you to actually move the entire organization a lot better. So, what is the job to be done for the teams? That is another one. So, the last point that I really want to talk about is credit is not the point. Changes. When I had this trial run with my co-worker, my friends, they were like, Jinghua, women are pretty good at not taking credits. We're pretty good at doing what we do and not taking enough credits. I think that's not exactly controversial from what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say here is that focus on credit will not necessarily give you enough credit. But if you focus on change, if you're focused on what is jobs to be done, if you focus on what is the bigger picture, then that you most likely will get credits. I myself didn't really say that I want this, or the credits part. There's a couple of situations actually. We're talking about how to make the team more effective, move faster. I have some proposals actually eliminating my own position. People are like, wow, Jinghua, but you eliminated your own position, but that's not the purpose, right? The purpose is let's think about how things works, and then at the end, that you will be happier working with the team that is function a lot better. So it's really not about credits, it is about the change that you can make. And once that change happens, then we actually more confident and more happier with what we achieve as a team. So this is basically the 4 tips that I want to share with you guys today. It worked for me. I hope it's interesting to you as well. Questions? Oh, okay. Question. Okay. I will be around, so just let me know.
All right. Thank you, Jinghua.